If you lose 50%, how much do you have to make to get back up to even? Let's examine that in this episode of 50 Shades of Money. Losses are way harder to recover than most people think. No one understands what we call the math of gains and losses because it doesn't make sense. It's just illogical. You would think that if you suffer a certain loss, a certain gain will get you back to that exact same number. But it just doesn't seem to work that way mathematically. Jim, could you go through a couple examples?
Let's say you had $1 million in your portfolio, and we have another market crash like we did in 2001 and 2, which was a technology crash, or one like we had in 2007, 8, and 9. Which was a financial crisis. What if you have $1 million and you lose half of your money, which is a 50% loss? You're down to $500,000. What if you get a 50% rate of return on your $500,000? You're only back up to $750,000. You actually need a 100% rate of return in order to get back to even. And how likely is that going to happen in retirement, particularly if you're using those assets for income in retirement?
Very difficult, Jim. Let's go through the math. Let's go through those steps you just covered. Let's say you have that $1 million portfolio and you suffer another 50% loss like 2000 through 2002 or 2007 to 2009. So it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
We just don't know when. So your $1 million drops to 500,000. You've lost 50%. You think if you make 50%, you should be whole. It just seems fair, but money's not fair. If you make 50% gain on your 500,000, that's just $250,000 gain. That means now you're only up to 750,000. You're still $250,000 shy of your bogey of getting back to the million. Not to make money, but just to get back up to even. So $1 million drops to 500,000. 500,000 makes 50%. You're up to 750,000. You're still behind the 8 ball by 250,000. So now your $1 million drops to 500,000. Your 500,000 has to earn a 100% rate of return. 100% of 500,000 is 500,000. Now you're back up to $1 million. So you actually have to make a 100% rate of return, not to make money, just to get back up to even. And I ask people, do you know what that's called? Do you really know what that's called? And they say, no. I go, you understand a hamster wheel? A hamster runs really fast, makes a lot of noise, but does it get anywhere? It gets nowhere. So you have to try to get 100% rate of return to get nowhere, just back up to even. And if you can imagine, you're retired, you've lost half of your portfolio, and you're scared, and you know you have 500,000, you got to get back up to $1 million. Can you invest conservatively, or do you have to invest aggressively?
It'll be super aggressive, and also a retiree has to remember they're using those assets for income. What if they're pulling income off those assets and still need a rate of return of 100%? That means that rate of return has to be substantially larger, greater than the income you're taking out, plus the rate of return to catch back up.
Well, and what about fees?
Yeah.
Now you add fees on, so you have losses, income and fees. Now how long is the money going to last after you take that type of bath?
It's not going to happen unless the client is flat out lucky or we have a bull run that we've never seen before in our lifetime.
So it's very important to understand the math of gains and losses. If you don't, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to be like that little hamster, running really quickly and not getting too far. If you like this video and you'd like to learn more about how you can set up your own second opinion to maximize your financial security, we've just created a brand new training video. Click the link below and we'll send it out to you right away.